Hey guys, welcome back to Witty's Gear Reviews. Today we're going to look at something that I got in, that I ordered off of Amazon. We'll go over some specifications, but it was pretty cool. I saw it, I saw a review on it, and I thought, man, you know what, I'm going to try to get one of those and see what it's about. And it's made by Flissa. I've got several Flissa tools. Look, Flissa makes some really cheap stuff, and then they make a better quality line of stuff. It's hit or miss, but I'm going to show you things that I've got. I've got a couple knives that I got from them that were really good knives, and I'm going to show you this tool, which is kind of a unique tool, and we'll kind of get into it together. So there's not a lot on here, just fairly plain packaging. Oh, there's a bag in here. What else is in here? Some instructions. But that's our tool. And it's a multi-tool. It doesn't open up like a traditional multi-tool would, so it doesn't break apart, even though it looks like it does. It's like they kept that look, but it doesn't actually break apart. But you'll see some unique features of this tool. So all I could find about it is, of course, it's made by Flissa. It is what they're calling their 16-in-1 multi-tool with self-adjustable wrench. Not really a name, not a number. It's just their 16-in-1 multi-tool with self-adjusting wrench. At the time of the video, I bought these things, and I'm going to tell you what. I saw one person do a review on these, and I believe at the time it was the only review on Amazon. I got on, he had the review up for like an hour. I got on and these things were sold out. About a week later, got back on and was able to find one. It had a clickable coupon. So it made it $13.99. Since then, the same seller, which is actually sold by Flissa through Amazon. It was $19.99, $16.99, and at the time that I checked this video, it was back to $19.99. But they do put out clickable coupons. It seems like the better the tool does, they'll raise the price when a lot of people start buying it. And then it's like when they raise that price, everybody's like, oh man, it was just $16. I'm not going to buy one. So nobody starts buying them. The price goes back down. Best advice I could give you if you're interested in the tool, you want to check it out, you're thinking about purchasing it, I will say one thing. It's not a bad tool for 20 bucks. Under 20 bucks. It's not a bad tool for $17. It's definitely not a bad tool for $14. The $13.99 that I paid for it. Just a good look up close. What's unique about this tool is I can't find an exact home for the tool. Where does it live? You've got tools like this, small little, EDC carry, pretty utilitarian, SOG power pint. Well, this doesn't have the pliers per se, but it has some other features on it that I was looking: EDC, camping, survival, tradesman, craftsman kind of deal. Let me know where you think it best aligns. All right. So now that we look, of course, the elephant in the room is the adjustable plier heads on top. We did a tool with an adjustable plier head on it before. I think it was a pry bar, which ended up being a really good tool, and I really liked this feature of it because how big it does get. I mean, you could get that easily around a 3/4 inch nut or bolt. And it just flexes back, put it in there, and basically if you want to loosen, tighten, you're just going to flip the direction, whichever way you need to go, to do what you have to. The next thing we want to look at is, let's go ahead and look at the tools that are on the side. And there's, there's not a lot of tools, but you got that nice blade there, which will open with one hand. And it's more of a sheep's foot blade. Super sharp. Let's see. Here's the directions. And I don't know if everybody knows, but Flissa also makes Work Pro. They also make, I guess that's Villy. Great Store Tools. Value Max. They're the umbrella. There's a main umbrella company that makes all these products. But just for showing sharpness, that thing is super, super sharp. That's one thing I can say about Flissa tools is they come super sharp right out of the bag, box, whatever you get it in. Now, of course, sharp out of the box doesn't mean sharp after, 2 weeks of use, right? It's one thing I could not find anywhere. It says stainless steel, but it doesn't say what type of steel. So we'll just pretend like it's, a 5 MOV, maybe a 3, possibly a 440A, something like that. Doesn't really state, right? So this tool has a liner lock. So your knife will lock into place. You can kind of see it's a pretty good, almost right in the middle lock up, so it's going to be fairly tight. The next tool we'll pull out of here is, this thing's like a multi-tool on its own. You got your can opener, and then you got your pop top opener, beer cap opener, bottle cap, whatever you want to call it. Then we'll get in here. I don't have nails, guys. Y'all have probably seen that. And then another very unique tool. A lot like the Leatherman's, it's just a flat bit holder. Does have a magnet down in the bottom there, which holds that magnet in there, or holds that bit in there. It's not going to fall out. It's in there really well. But this is the cool part, is if you look at your selection here, you have a flathead 5, you have a PH1, PH00, you have a T8, T6, H3, H4. Now, for knife guys, the T6 and the T8 would be awesome, right? You can work on your knives. We'll look at a pivot here. We'll try a T6. Put it in there. And sorry, T8. Not taking the bolts out of the handle, Jay. Not taking the bolts out of the handle. There we go. Works really well. Doesn't say what kind of steel they use, but depending on what you need, you've got those tools on here. Now, if you look at if you read any of the comments, it's like they want to purposely hate this tool because they talk about the bits fall out when you tip it upside down, or the bits fall out easily. All right. I don't know how much harder I can shake it. Through it. See, what did we do? Did we move? No? Dropped it again. Did they move? Oh, we got some movement. But if you can hear that, it's a magnet in there. So you're gonna, and you could actually see it. Tool close, it slides into place, and that's about where it stopped. So really good function. I do like that aspect of the tool. Guys, if you're throwing this thing, you're taking it, you're throwing it in your tool bag, you're throwing it in your backpack or whatever, there's a chance that you will lose a bit. I'm not going to say that the bits aren't going to fall out. I'm just going to say that people say that if you turn it upside down and shake it, the bits fall out or they're real loose. I'm not seeing that. Does it have potential for bits to fall out? Yeah, there's nothing holding them in. they're not going to come out like if you're pulling it out this way. But if you don't seat one in very good and you drop it a few times and one's slightly hanging out, if one's hanging out like that, where it's past that magnet, then yeah, super easy, it's going to fall out. So it's one of them tools that you would have to check, right? There's no cover for it or anything like that because you wouldn't be able to access the rest of the tools, which there aren't that many, right? We kind of went through what was on one side. You basically have two tools on that side. The knife, the can opener, and then your bit, which also locks open with a liner lock. Then we flip the tool over to look at the other side. Not a lot going on over here. You have your crosscut file, standard file. This seems to be pretty decent in. You can see it kind of filed my nail off, so pretty decent in the in how coarse it is. So it definitely will file fingernails. And then last, you have a saw. So now this is where I got into what is it? You've got these, but yet you have some, on one side, it's like you almost have some survival implements. You have a saw, and then you have this part, which I thought was really unique, which is a small ferro rod with a whistle on the end. The whistle works. It's a little lacking. It wouldn't be considered your best whistle out there, but it will work. And of course, like I said, I thought this was super interesting of a choice to put on there because it's not really got all the other things that you would like, an awl and stuff like that you would need for survival, but they stuck that on there. Where I think one place that the tool would fit really well for what it has on this side, plus the knife, is in a range bag. I think it would be perfect because some of the bit sizes you have here would be perfect for taking it to the range, using it to adjust your scope, things like that. If you look at the bit that comes on here, anybody that's ever had a red dot of any size or any type, it takes a super small flathead, and that's what you have there. So that'd be perfect for the clicks, adjusting clicks on a red dot, or a small heads up, like a halo sight or anything like that that has them clicks. It takes your reticle left or right, up or down. And then just, of course, for tightening up scope mounts or anything like that, I think it's a good tool for that. But as a survival tool, I think it's kind of heavy on the bits. You know what? I take that back. Anybody that's building a more of an urban survival kit, this might be your ticket. This might be something good for an urban survival kit. Because I could see an urban situation needing, more bits, needing a adjustable wrench, and then possibly at the end of the day needing a fire starter. Maybe that's where this thing fits in the best. But y'all let me know, guys. Or is it just a quirky tool that's $20 and below that really doesn't find a home in anybody's bag? But it's a good tool. But did they think about what avenue they wanted this thing to go down before they built it? Solid tool. It's well made. I don't see anything wrong with it. Those are the tools. There's not a lot to go over. You saw everything. Just get a close-up look. Oh, one other complaint. How do you carry it? That is one thing that you got to think about. Now, there are ways to carry any tools. You could put it in a sheath, which this doesn't come with, but I would say the sheath option is probably the best. Because it'll keep your tools inside. So if you had a small flashlight, a 6-inch flashlight that you had a sheath for at one time, them old mag lights, anything like that, you could probably reuse that on this tool. Like I said, it didn't come with anything. Or you could find an old pocket knife you have with a broke off tip and basically fit this thing right through there. And now you have a belt clip. And that's what it would look like. Now, yes, you're not going to be able to single hand get to your saw, but I put it on the opposite side so I could single hand get to my knife. I would think I would use my knife more. Now you could put it on this side, cover up the logo, but I really would rather it not, rather not be able to get to my saw. You could probably put it on that bolt hole there, but still would be hard to get to it. I even thought about sticking it on the back. It would work right here. And you could still get to your bits. Oh, which bit is it? Oh, yeah, right there. So if it was mounted right there, you could still get these bits in and out with no problem. But my question is, when you're hooking it onto your belt, are all these going to get, or belt or pocket, are all these going to get caught on something? So that might not be a winner there either. Can't stick it up here, I don't think. Let's look at that real quick. Not with this belt clip. Same thing, you're still going to hit all those. And definitely not going to work on that side. So your only options would be to put it here. But in my opinion, your best option would be well, hold on a minute. Stick it right there. We could stick it right there and, let me see. Yeah, you could still get to your knife. So that might be the best fit, but then you have all this sticking out of your pocket. Y'all can figure it out. If you wanted to put a belt clip on it, it's doable. Perfectly possible. I think the best place it lives is in a sheath. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I know a lot of people watch the videos. A lot of people give us a thumbs up. Interact. Tell me what you think you would use this tool for, or if you'd use it at all. Where would it fit? Are you a hobbyist? Do you work on, remote control cars or anything like that? Would it be good for that? Do you fly drones, skateboard, anything like that? Would it work for you? Because not only do people get on this channel that watch EDC gear, that watch survival gear, prepping gear, anything like that, we've got a lot of people that just get on because they like new things. They like new tools. They like knives, but they're not EDC community people. They're just people that collect knives, work in offices, work in donut shops. We have all kinds of subscribers on this channel, and I love it. I love the diversity. I love the people that come on with their ideas. And I like the people that just say, you know what? I really don't have a use for that, but cool tool. Right? Everybody is allowed to their opinion. Everybody's allowed to comment. And we like to try to show people stuff because there's somebody sitting out there that may not have a multi-tool, that may not ever think about buying a multi-tool, but see this and like, that thing has everything I need. And tradesmen. Would it be like if you were a plumber? Would that work? Thinking? You got a knife. You could use a knife. You got a saw. I would imagine if it'll cut wood, it'll cut through PVC. Just something real quick. I just need to make a small cut through some 1-inch PVC. And then turn around and tie it in a toilet flange or something. Let me know. Anyways, guys, love y'all. 3 ways to support the channel: Witty's Gear Shop, buy me a coffee, memberships. Any of those ways help out if you feel so inclined. Do us a favor, leave us a comment, leave us that like. Love y'all. See you on the next one.